is my prayer and hope that this video is going to find you when you're doing fine and in good health. I'm also doing fine at this peripheral end, as you can see, and I'm coming live from Middle East. So let me know where you're watching this video from, which country, which continent, and the weather condition going forward. Here in Middle East is chill, but we're obeying the weather going forward. So guys, I want to talk about the yesterday's video. The video that was done by Travel Commando, that is IAM-MARWA. The biggest reveal. That reveal itself has caused jitters and mayhem in the YouTube street. Well, I just don't really want to talk on the reveal itself, but I want to talk on this particular kind of segment that really stood out, but the lazy gang has capitalizes on those two segments to troll IAM-MARWA. Basically, on this one, we saw JT and IAM-MARWA pick particular kind of segment just as a troll. We all know the lazy gang, their main aim is to troll. Their main aim is to water down. But I'm here to always combat them. I'm here to always send a positive narrative from their negative perspective view. Well, I just want to get across that if you are coming across this video for the very first time, click at this video and subscribe to my channel so that whenever I upload a video, you shall be notified instantly. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's just dive in straight away. Welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Zack and this is my YouTube channel. So let's dive in, lest we forget. So yesterday, IAM-MARWA came out with the biggest reveal, where majority of members and the supporters were asked, what could be your guess concerning the biggest reveal? Others said manner of things. IAM-MARWA's bought a car, IAM-MARWA with the phone, IAM-MARWA is traveling back to Africa, IAM-MARWA is traveling to the world, and all manner of things people suggested. And majority of people who maybe perhaps got it right, the biggest reveal was about identification for baby Maisha, which was a milestone. Well, what does that one tell us? It tells us that it hasn't been easy, but it's a milestone that is achieved, that now bringing baby Maisha into a society that is now is registered, that is a member, that he is an Argentinian. That is a milestone. Remember back then, they've been trying to register him. But the lazy gang, upon such kind of trial, have come to troll these people, have come to spew the negative breath onto that, calling IAM-MARWA, oh, the baby cannot be registered, oh, the baby cannot be my friend. This video and the biggest reveal itself and this milestone, it's squarely again slapped on the faces of the lazy gang, because against their own wishes and odds that they already took, that it wouldn't be possible for baby Maisha to be registered, because baby Maisha had was given birth at home because of a home birth, has really backfired, because they never knew what they were doing, because they don't always take their time to think, to get to know what they're saying. They come emotionally vexed because there's hatred, because there's jealous. But if at all they were engaging themselves in a constructive criticism, they could have been giving us the possible scenario, the scenario that is so difficult, the scenario that these things want to be happening, and they give the opinion. But with them, full basek, one opinionated kind of a reason, then that one becomes the finality. But when IAM-MARWA came to reveal itself, it really slapped them hard onto their faces. No wonder they've decided to troll IAM-MARWA. Guys, let's move direct and straight away to IAM-MARWA's biggest reveal. Then I will have to put things into perspective.
The identification. I hope I'm correct. Let me see if there is a place where they have written. So, for those who already know what that means in Spanish, it simply means, Jep Gims, thank you so much for $20. Thank you. Thank you. For people like you, they will make me actually start traveling soon. And also, you know, it's January. So Not DNA. No. DNI. Please, please, please. I don't want even the haters who are watching from the forest to say Marwa did a DNA if they don't understand. So it's DNI. Actually, this is what we've been waiting for, guys. It arrived today. So this, now, I take you straight now to the real thing itself. What was inside.
That is IAM-MARWA with the ID. And it's so specific. So in that video, this is where the segment was taken and the litigant started to troll it in different perspective. Things that myself, I'm of the different divergent view. And of course, positive and constructive one. You know, IAM-MARWA was simply telling us and was simply addressing other people who have been attacking him left and right and the litigant, because he's telling us he saw a particular kind of a reactor talking that how can Marwa decide not to allow Roshio to do the naming itself. IAM-MARWA has just revealed that Baby Maisha has got 3 names. One of the name is Cabrera, the Roche's family. One of the name is the IAM-MARWA family, this is Ondari. And one of the name is Maisha. Her name is himself. You know, of which I agree with IAM-MARWA 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, in an African society or in the naming system, it depends with one country to another country and also goes down to culture of a specific group or a clan itself. And IAM-MARWA has gotten it right. I've seen no problem with that. You saw IAM-MARWA telling us that it's DNI and it's telling us the documents do what they know. And somebody was down commenting that DNA. No, it was not DNA. And according to IAM-MARWA's mouth, telling people DNA because he doesn't want to see the haters. And the lazy gang now will come and coin and twist these things. Guys, let me tell you, JT took it and started trolling IAM-MARWA with the same thing that IAM-MARWA said. So that alone tells you how JT podcast is sick, how JT podcast is an hellbent of trolling, that his business on this YouTube street is to troll. His business in this YouTube street is not to engage in a constructive dialogue, but to troll, look for the negativity to balkanize IAM-MARWA and Roshio going forward. Let's dive in to JT podcast reaction, a shocking one, and I will put everything.
I made it as a joke anyway, Marwa. If you decide to do it, you could. But I just made it as a joke, like you may consider doing a DNA. But because you did a DNI, because you secured DNI before DNA, good. Anyway, so Marwa is talking about haters, if they think about the DNA thing, they will be on his neck because that is how it is. So these whole moves that Kenge is making are all because I believe
you've seen JT.
It's not easy.
It's a kind of a
we've seen how this.
And the stabbing is a joke. It's not a joke. For a very long time, this is not the second time. This is the third time that JT has decided to troll IAM-MARWA. Remember when he brought the picture of Baby Maisha and compare it with Jamaican Uncle, compare it with Gritty Riba, compare it to people who have been close associates of IAM-MARWA. And even in that time, he said IAM-MARWA should consider doing a DNA. Now, he's speaking something that IAM-MARWA said to troll IAM-MARWA back, that then he's saying that he's joking. No, it's not a joke. I've ever opened here, and I've been telling people that if you want to listen the truth from the people, listen to the joke carefully. The joke is where the truth and it's where the information is being served. You might think somebody is joking, but that is where a friend of particular kind of people has laced their truth, has laced their information, and information that was well intended for you. Therefore, IAM-MARWA, if you listen to JT, JT is not joking. JT is telling you. It's not the first time, it's not the second time, this is the fourth time that JT is saying this. So JT, if you are joking, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I want to ask you a question, JT. Do you know your parents? Your parents is the one who knows who gave birth to you. Specifically, not even your dad, your mother. Because you are told this is your dad, therefore you believe it's your dad. But if the DNA could be done now, therefore it will be a shock unto you. We are just living at mercy of whom we were told that this is our parents. Then we believe. Others were even stolen from hospital. Babies were swapped. You don't know whether this is your parents or not. So deviate from that mindset, because you've been trolling people, you've been trolling babies, you've been trolling IAM-MARWA, and throwing back and forth the issue of DNA. Do you know anything that IAM-MARWA don't know? Or what is your issue, or what is your concern when IAM-MARWA decided not to do a DNA? IAM-MARWA was talking of a document. Now you are bringing the issue of DNA itself. So despicable. So guys, it did not stop from there. Because the naming system also confused majority of people, and people have been talking about the naming system. Therefore, the Bungoma monitoring spirit took in and started trolling IAM-MARWA on that trajectory. And perhaps I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'm going to let the Bungoma monitoring spirit to come and vex. Then I will come and put everything into the alignment going forward. Let that in away.
His family and you, what happened? Yes, Maisha has two foreign names, not foreign, sorry, has two last names. One is Cabrera, which is Rocio's family. Another one is Ondari that you've seen, which is my family, okay?
Now, this is where my concern started from. GK, you are telling me about a wannabe. I don't deal with wannabes. I'm sorry. I don't deal with wannabes. And I don't also deal with, let me not say a wannabe per se. Let me call it the way you've called it. Someone fighting me. I don't deal with people who fight with me. At least by now you should have known. All the attacks are always coming from wherever they are coming. I've been called, I've been insulted, I've been Why would I be caring about a wannabe who is fighting me? Relax, sis. Relax. Relax. Let's talk about what you're talking about, okay? Marwa, Ondari is not your father. Take it right. It is what it is. You shouldn't call your baby someone who is not in your bloodline. Ondari, Dimwango, and David Jr.'s father is not your bloodline. Marwa, you are a lost sheep. And if it's Congress mom who is advising you, believe me, one day you will come back to cry. I don't know where you'll be crying from, maybe on your camera as usual, but you are lost. That's not how things are done. In Africa, for that matter, let me even not talk about the Korea Kenyan thing. Like, if you don't have a dad and you're not sure about your dad, why couldn't you call your baby Marwa as a surname? Marwa, you are a very lost person. Why would you call a Kisii man and you know yourself you are a Kuria? Okay? Kuria is where you belong. That's your bloodline. Okay? Your father is alive. You rejected him. It's okay. You have your own reasons. But why didn't you call your baby your name? Because at this point, your name is lost.
And he has taken a swap because of the name thing. Well, so what? So what, Carol, if Ondari is not the father of IAM-MARWA? Ondari is the father of IAM-MARWA concerning and depending with the law, because the law dictates so. For example, if I'm to marry a lady who has got children, therefore, once the lady comes and we get married legally, therefore, those children are my children. The wife is my wife. And those children are entitled legally to use my name in their documentation. Because I'm the father. Because the law detonates me that power and gives them that power, because the responsibility is me. So whatever you're saying according to African culture, that is not all African culture. There's a culture depending on other specific community. Most of the Bantus, they know what they follow. I'm an Nilote. That's not how we behave. In Nilotic speakers, the way we behave is one. If a lady, for example, perchance to give a birth, then the father doesn't want to take the responsibility. And a lady happens to marry with a particular kind of a man. Therefore, the baby or the child will assume the current status of the man who is in his life. But if the father of the child is taking care of this child, therefore this child will assume the name of the biological father, because the father has not neglected the baby. The father is taking care of, is taking responsibility. Therefore, the father is claiming. The father will go to court to claim and demand the child to be named his name, because he's taking the responsibility. The mother is just living with the baby because the life of the baby is dependent on the mother. Until the child will reach 18 years is when the child will decide where he or she wants to stay. And that is the law. The issue of bloodline, kiangoa, and left and right doesn't exist. For example, Carol, you are called Caroline Mbinji. The word Caroline, do you know the word Caroline, where the Caroline come from? Is Caroline in your bloodline? No. The Caroline name is not an African name. The Caroline itself is a name that was brought by the missionary, the West, name that comes from the West. My name is Zacchaeus Okoth. The Zacchaeus Okoth, I'm named by the person who was a tax collector in the Bible, Zacchaeus. I have got no family member who's called Zacchaeus, but I was named Zacchaeus Okoth because I was born during rain. Ogola, of course, is my father's name. Who is Ondari? Ondari is IAM-MARWA's father, who took the responsibilities to take IAM-MARWA to school. Legally, Ondari, this name is right in place because even IAM-MARWA used it. So this issue of, this community in all the entire Africa, no. It's not. It's not. It's just the same with the Agikuyu community in Kenya, most of the Bantus. It's like majority of the single women there have decided to name their children their own names. That's why you'll find a Gikuyu man has got, somebody is called John Waidera. John Wamuschomba. It simply means this was a single mother who was given birth to a baby, and the baby is growing up in her arm, and the baby lacked the father. So the son or this baby will use the mother's name. Julius Wagidongo. Now, are you getting? That is according to the Gikuyu culture. If you come to my culture, Luo culture is quite different. We do not name children women's name. That's a distinct factor, just to de-escalate and to perforate the issue that we're seeing in entire African culture. I've just given you an example of Bantu, who is a Gikuyu, and the Luos. At one point in Luo, there's no any time that a child will use the mother's name. The surname must be created. Even if the surname is not there, the son might decide to use the uncle's name or the general pictures of the family's name. Now the lady has decided now is not getting married, but it's been born. The child will assume the name of the grandchild, the granddad. And that is it. That's how we are doing it. So this aspect that you want to bring that Amarwa is what? Amarwa has used that name. And the identity of Amarwa is Frederick Marwa Undari. So how do you want Amarwa to name his children? Well, when they will be comparing Amarwa name, what's Amarwa's name? Undari. So, which bloodline are you talking about? The issue of naming system was not left for the women. Therefore, you are a woman, you are not expected to speak of this issue of naming. It is the issue that men were dealing with and the elders, and there's no women elders. Full stop. So therefore, don't poke your nose or your mouthy baki in the issue that you yourself you cannot come and deliberate on, because you lack the prerequisite requirement for you to come and deliberate in that kind of issue. You can just talk of it. But when people sit down, want to brainstorm weighty matters concerning naming system, therefore, you wouldn't see the issue of women. It's not to demean women because you evoke the issue of African culture. But how was the African culture in the 19th century behaving? The women were not there to dictate things. Therefore, because you evoked, I'm also evoking that one so that to displace you from that kind of thought, that your thought itself is zero infinite. Your thought itself will never help at all. Your thought itself is hogwash and far-fetched. Guys, let me know what you're thinking at the comment section. Until next time, this is Senior Zack.